for stolen land.
Hey yo, beats crafted by Chasm, my man. It's Ozi Batla taking the mic in hand. Yo, right about now, I'd like to give respect to the traditional owners of the land on which we stand. Myth and reality feel like suits from Kelly Country. Town and country's dead calm except for telly's bumping. In the dead eyes at the shopping centres, they tell me something. If we don't face our past, then we're about to mount to nothing. Cause right now the lunatic right have got the major clout. They sneak into libraries at night and tear the pages out. They skim read the history books and rip the worst chapters. Like how many Iraqi kids were killed or captured. Like how many Vietnamese were killed or captured. Like how many Aborigines, yep, you see the pattern. And it seems that we're teaching more about the rings of Saturn than a Pemel Boys battle with the English captain. So what happened? Fuck knows, I went to find out. Got a book of settlers' tales I had to sign out. From a library named after a state I don't recognise. I walked out, shielded eyes, looking up to check the sky, and it was hard blue. I have to ask you, don't you feel that this place is haunted by the past too? I caught a full moon over the statue of Cook. I'm pinning down truths harder than catching a crook. It was a hard blue. I have to ask you, don't you feel that this place is haunted by the past too? I caught a full moon over the statue of Cook. I'm pinning down truths harder than catching a crook.
Let me pause and share this moment to reach out to my brothers and sisters.
Once deep down George Street flowed the tank stream. Then came guns, germs, cattle and banking. Was drinkable once, unthinkable now. Just can't think of these cunts without a sink of the brow. See a premier kowtow to modern day raiders and green light red ferns real estate invasion. They wonder why they get a riot in the streets. Still got deaths in custody, still got corrupt police. They cleaned up the city for Olympic elites. That's why on a Sydney train you hardly see a piece. These cats got no taste if you ask me, and can't see the state forest for the last trees. Now I believe that is not what we asked for. We said save the streets and they said drug task force. The scoundrel will always blame someone else. I shouted at the sky just to name what I felt. It was a hard blue. I have to ask you, don't you feel that this place is haunted by the past too? Caught a full moon over the statue of Cook. I'm pinning down truths harder than catching a crook. It was a hard blue. I have to ask you, don't you feel that this place is haunted by the past too? Caught a full moon over the statue of Cook. I'm pinning down truths harder than catching the crook. They got pokey, cigs and drink. I know this bloke who sits and thinks and he wonders to be the plunderer or the plundered, and let him dumb it down a little more and truce days are numbered. They won't even say sorry in retrospect, yet with all respect they should fucking genuflect. These cultured suits who check their coats at the door. I step outside to check the sky and ask what for. It was a hard blue. I have to ask you, don't you feel that this place is haunted by the past too? Caught a full moon over the statue of Cook. I'm pinning down truths harder than catching a crook. It was a hard blue. I have to ask you, don't you feel that this place is haunted by the past too? Caught a full moon over the statue of Cook. I'm pinning down truths harder than catching a crook. It was a hard blue. I have to ask you, yo, I just gotta ask you, don't you feel that this place is haunted by the past too? It was a hard blue.